Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this must be my fifth try at this commentary. I keep getting longer and longer, so I grabbed a new game. I guess I have a lot to say on the topic. Anyway, I did a video not long ago about how ideas are worthless, how it's actions that matter. You have to put that into motion for it to be of any value, and this was the top rated comment. I really like this concept, Woody, and props for you to linking the content of another. There's this one topic I'd like to see covered. I'd like to know your take on the web development industry. What did you learn during your time working in the field? What tips and tricks would you give the newcomers that want to strive in the industry? It's probably not popular, but I'll take this into consideration. And then it got 216 upvotes. That's a lot, or thumbs up. I guess I'm too much of a Redditor. So I guess it is an incredibly popular request. 216 is too much for me to ignore, and I'm making this commentary about it. I'm going to first talk about web development, and then I'm going to transition into working in general. So let's get started. All right, in web development, you want to be where the complexity is. That's the deal. If you are building that cache layer between the database and the user interface, then you're going to get respect, promotions, etc., money. If you are, I don't know, now web UIs have gotten so complicated, right? It used to be there were like these form-based submit applications, and they sort of did one thing at a time. Now UIs, people look at Google Maps, people look at desktop apps. There's all sorts of drag and drop, and UIs have gotten far more complicated than they've ever been before. So that aspect of the UI is good. The part you want to avoid is the look and feel. If you're a graphic artist and you're building the layout and you're building the look and feel, the tables, the color schemes, etc., even though it's incredibly important, even though I know I never really had the skill set, the talent to do that, for some reason it's not that valued. These guys earn less money. These guys, the managers look at them like, oh, that's really good. He does a good job at that. But they don't pay them and bonus them and promote them the way that they do guys who are, working, I want to call them the innards of the system. So, that's still where you want to be. Follow the complexity. The other things I wanted to talk about with web development, one quick thing, and this is programming in general before I move on to general work, is meet your deadlines and be bug free. That's the deal. I once had, I went years, like 4 years, without having any bug in my ship stuff. I was actually a pretty good developer, and I met my deadlines too. That's a big deal. And part of meeting your deadlines is just working hard and focusing. Another part of meeting your deadlines is giving yourselves deadlines that you can meet. If let's say you've got a project and it's going to take between 7 and 9 days, you are way better off saying this is going to take me 2 weeks and delivering it in 2 weeks than you are saying this will take me 1 week and delivering in 9 days. That's the deal. Even though the 9-day guy was quicker than the 14-day guy, then you need to hit your targets. When a manager trusts this thing to be delivered and they start telling other people when it's going to be delivered, they do not want to be telling people, okay, new delivery date, we're going to come out late. And they need to be able to plan around it like you're a machine. It takes me this long to do this, and then it will. And that's for programming, that's incredibly important. It's probably important in just about every job. Maybe you're doing financial analysis. Hit your damn target dates, and don't be an idiot cutting it super close and then missing it only by a day when you could hit it on target. So that's the deal. For working in general, first off, your job is to make your boss look good, period. People don't know that. People don't get that. But, they think their job is something else. They think their job is the project, or they think, no, your job is to make your boss happy with you. If you do that consistently, then your boss will do well, your boss's boss will do well, your company will do well, everything will go well if you make your boss look good all the time. And it's going to go better for you too. That's just the way that this goes. People don't get that. Sometimes they butt heads with their boss instead of getting along with their boss, and if that's the case, then they're doing it wrong. So make your boss look good. Just get that. Someone told me that early in my career, and I thought somehow it wasn't noble enough. Like, no, my job is to, I don't know, serve the company at a higher level, and the boss is just there to supervise. No, dude, make your boss look great, and everything is going to go well for you in your career. And so keep that in mind. Another thing I want you to keep in mind is how to measure your boss, right? There are, look, your boss is going to be measuring you by how much you get done, right? He's going to be measuring you by, what kind of influence you are in your peers, how much work you're getting done. He's going to be looking at all sorts of stuff like that. And you, in turn, measure your boss as well. And one of the ways in which I've always measured my boss was how well he did at promoting and bonusing me and my peers, right? If my boss is in a group and he's consistently just not getting the promotions into his group that some other manager is getting done, then your boss is sucking and he doesn't deserve you, assuming that you're good too. You cannot, like, if you're an employee that's missing his deadlines, is not getting things done like your peers are, your work is not as of high quality, then you suck. If your boss is not getting promotions and bonuses into his group that other managers are getting in there, then he sucks. And don't sit there and be a star performer for a non-star boss. He doesn't deserve you. You've got to cut him free. And, don't be afraid to transfer. Especially early in your career, move around a little bit. Get some different jobs in there, Spend some work doing a touch of sysadmin. That would be good for you. You'll be a better programmer if you spent a little time doing sysadmin at some point during your career. That's just the deal. So move around. I was so lucky. I was in this group called Tools where I did programming, I did sysadmin, I did vendor negotiations. I did all this stuff early in my job, and I'm still thankful for having that breadth of opportunity that I wouldn't have had if I just became a hardcore programmer early on. I worked with another guy who was a young architect, and he sucked at it. Every decision he made was bad, and it was because he just didn't have the background to figure out what was going to go wrong that an architect should have. I don't know how he got that job so early, but he was freaking terrible at it. So let's keep going. Another general thing you need to know with regards to career is that the company doesn't exist to pay you, and that sucks. If you're an author, I mispronounced it. If you're an author who writes books, publishers don't exist to pay you. You almost think they do, right? Authors make all this money, and J.K. Rowling aside, the Harry Potter woman, most authors don't make very much. They're just kind of hired out to make publishers money, right? They're employees. Employees exist to make owners wealthy. That's the reality of this thing. And you think there's profit sharing and this and that, but I can remember working 9 months worth of overtime, right? Nights and weekends. And when I say nights, I'm not talking about 7 p.m. I'm talking about 9 p.m., midnight, sometimes 4 a.m. That's a long freaking workday, 4 a.m. Assuming you start at 9:30 like I did. And then I do this for 9 months. And when it was over, I got a $4,000 bonus or $4,000 raise, which I know is, year after year. But $4,000? Really? I virtually missed a year of my kids by working that late that much. And, the $4,000, you hardly get your house painted for that. And they earn it in 2 weeks. It's, companies don't exist to pay employees. Companies exist to make owners wealthy. And, if you're interested in having an above average income, then you need to seriously consider owning your own place because, with very few exceptions, the employees are not making that much money. I look at how much my boss's boss made, and VPs and stuff. And it's man, my father has a small accounting firm with 5 people working there, and he makes more than those guys do. It's just, all the money in a company is concentrated at the very, very, very top. And that's how it goes. And the concentration is getting, more extreme all the time. It's crazy. So, you need to know that if an above average income is something that you want out of work, then what you probably want is to find yourself in some sort of ownership position, because doing it by yourself is, or doing it as an employee is really unusual. You can get a nice, safe, comfortable living and, heat and air condition your house and have 2 cars. But, if you're looking for any kind of real wealth, you're looking at being an owner. The last thing I wanted to talk about with regards to working at a place or being a good employee is to work well with others. It is incredibly important, even as a programmer, to be able to communicate well. That was one of the ways in which I distinguished myself from my peers. Like a lot of my engineering brethren couldn't present. And like I was well known for being a good speaker, being able to present even into large groups. And it distinguished me from the crowd. Being able to persuade people with your ideas is hugely important no matter what your role is. So focus on that. I had a manager force me into presenting. And at the time, I thought it was lame. I thought like, no, my core tech skills are what make me who I am. And now I'm a YouTuber, and I think a lot of it is because she sort of thrust me out there in front of groups of people and said, tell them what you're doing. And I got good at it, and it was good for both my programming career and I guess my current one. So learn to speak, work well with others. It's huge. All right, if you're still here, perhaps I've earned your like. 2 videos you may have missed. On the left, I talk about Black Ops 2 being evolutionary or revolutionary. I have a decent gameplay behind it. It's only 27-5, but I lead the lobby in points above guys who got way more kills. I get the most dom caps. I get lots of defends. And I wondered to myself, like, how great a game would that have been in Black Ops 2 with their new focus on playing the objective? And I don't know, you can watch it and see what you think for yourself. On the right, I shoot a 50 cal in real life and in Modern Warfare 3. It's kind of a combo video. So you can check those out, and they open in separate windows. If you're new around here, you click on the top right and subscribe so you see more stuff from me. And have a good day.